People ask us, how long does this retirement coaching process take? Or circle back to your dreams. And to be quite honest about it, it depends on the person and what they bring or don't bring to the sessions early on. We have planned for 8 weeks of sessions that actually there are 6 sessions that are spread out over 8 weeks. And in that time, we have an hour of coaching time, and then in between coaching times, there's lots of activities, or sometimes we call them exercises, to do for the person being coached to do. And in the next session, the work that went on, the thinking that went on, the feelings that resulted from the activities are often what we talk about and how the next session goes. So, so it's really you, the person being coached, and the work that you do between sessions that propels the time along. And we're also very adaptable to, sometimes people come in and they've done their homework, they know what this process is about, and take to it really quickly. And so it may get done in less time than the 8 weeks that we have set out for it. Or the reverse is true. It's just things just don't come to people as fast, and or they want to explore more or longer, and that's okay with us. So it could end up being 10, 12 weeks in those situations. Is that what you've experienced?
Absolutely true. I think part of what we have learned is that coaching is about the client and a client-centered approach. So however long it takes is however long the client wants it to take. We're not prescriptive, we're not structured in terms of the duration of this. It's totally about what the client wants to accomplish and the pace at which they want to go.
There's another aspect too, is that we keep saying we have three phases or stages of transition, but very often you don't just graduate from one and then on to the next. Very often we break away from career or profession and get into taking a productive pause, but find, whoops, we got to go back. Or we may even leap forward right away to making a fresh start, but bring it back and check it out a little bit. So it's to keep saying there's a graduation in a very linear process from one to the other just isn't so.
I completely agree with that. And I think that scenario would happen more if someone comes to us and says, I'll go through this process, but I already have a very clear notion of what it is that I want to do. So they accelerate through the phases, perhaps get into the making a fresh start with their original idea and get into it and go, wow, gosh, that's not what I thought it would be. And so then we go back and lay some different and new groundwork.
Oftentimes the very first aspects of the coaching when we work with couples is about individual. It's the individual work, so that when the couple comes back together, they can share with each other what their first work with us was about, and then the couple really begins from there. So as I might have said before, it's about looking at where the visions overlap. And so there's some individual coaching with a couple at first, and then we move into the real work that gets done between the couple.
Right. So as you might guess, couples are individuals, so they each have their own dreams and their own passions and their own interests, but it's that intersection where we are able to facilitate communication and conversation and some planning about how to make that happen. The other thing that we find is the support that we can provide to the couple and the couple can provide to each other. We have found that what's important for people is to know that they're not in this alone. They're not the only ones who are confused or frustrated or impatient about moving on. Mm-hmm. So in our group coaching...
Or fearful,
absolutely, or excited. Mm-hmm. So the support that people can give one another and the celebrations that come through the group coaching are a very important aspect of going through this new territory for people.
Very good, thank you.
After that, I think retirement coaching has a more financial aspect to it. Not that we don't take finances into consideration, because of course if you have a dream, at some point we need to know, or you the client need to know, do I have the financial wherewithal to support that dream? So we would highly recommend that you seek out a financial advisor who you place a great deal of trust in. But retirement life coaching is centered around purpose and fulfillment and meaning and contribution and a life of substance and a life that's inspired.